righty. I am so excited to be joined by DJ Dezz, aka Miss Desiree Rogers, as a part of our screen time with today's Communiqué. Again, August is Black Business Month, and we are supporting Black female women-owned businesses for the month of August. So thank you, DJ Dezz, for joining us to talk just a little bit about the music industry and the whole DJing business. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you for reaching out to me and choosing me to be a part of what you're doing. And just, I also want to say that I think that what you're doing is amazing. To highlight Black women in business is huge because there's plenty of us, and I feel like we're doing a lot of great things. So I definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's just jump right in. Historically, when you think about the DJ business, you don't really think about a female as a DJ. So talk a little bit about how you got into the whole DJ business.
So here's a fun fact.
Okay.
I DJ on the side.
Okay.
I'm actually a basketball coach. So I am the associate head coach for Arkansas State. So I'm actually in college hoops. And all I've known my whole life is basketball. I actually played college basketball, and I've been coaching now for 9 years. Okay. And so probably about a year and a half ago or so, I was in Houston. This is a crazy story, but it's my story.
Okay.
So we went to a club in Houston, and there was a DJ by the name of DJ Mr. Rogers. My last name is Rogers, so that was weird.
Yeah.
And so, we listened to him 2 nights in a row, and I just had this vision in the middle of the club, how crazy that sounds, that I was supposed to be DJing. And so I got home, I told my friends, and then I told my wife, I said, hey, I think I'm gonna be a DJ. And they were like, huh? You're a basketball coach, all you ever done is basketball. Yeah. But one thing about me is I have always loved music. I love music.
Okay.
So about a year and a half ago, I decided to purchase some equipment and give it a try. Okay. And so I would practice for hours and hours and hours after I got home. Got pretty good at it. Kind of did some home events with friends, and then I kind of started getting booked. So it just kind of took off from there.
Okay, so it wasn't like there's a DJ school that one has to attend. It's just kind of watching other people, getting the equipment and just trying it out and learning by yourself.
So what you'll find is, I actually reached out to a lot of DJs just to kind of see, hey, what route did you take? How did you learn? And you would be surprised how many DJs actually taught themselves. So I am self-taught. Like I said, I put hours and hours and hours watching videos and practicing. But there are opportunities that you can invest and kind of get some teaching. I kind of wanted to be self-taught just to see if I could do it. Okay. But there are some things that I am looking to invest in so like scratching is a thing. So I've only been in a year and a half now, and I really wanted to make sure that my blends and my mixes and my transitions weren't on point before I tried to add that, because there's no need to scratch. You can't blend or mix, and your transitions aren't great. So I'm actually in the process of learning how to scratch, and I'm going to I've reached out to several people that are willing to give me lessons. And then there's also a Scratch Academy that I'm thinking about joining. So.
Okay. So for those who are watching, who are not as familiar with the whole art of DJing, explain what scratching is and explain what blending is, because I know you mentioned those 2 terms just a few moments ago. So I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So what is scratching and what is blending?
So scratching is kind of like that every sound that you hear. I know that probably sound crazy, but it's just, you have, your controller, or some people, they use, they use the bigger controllers, and then you have your decks, and, you take your hands, and that's where you see all the DJs. You're very used to seeing DJs doing that. But that's not the key part to DJing. It sounds good, it's cool, but the main thing is blending. So you're trying to blend two songs together. So basically I'm taking one song, I'm playing this one song, and I'm taking another song and I'm trying to incorporate it into the other song while transitioning out of the other song and coming into a new song. So there's a lot that goes into it. You have beats per minute involved. You have certain keys involved. Some things don't sound right blended together. And then also you want to make sure that your transition is as clean as possible. Because if you're at a party or an event and your transition is or your blending is not great, you hear it. Well, some people don't. Some people don't realize it, but me, I have an ear for it. Yeah. So if I hear a mistake or if I make a mistake, I'm like, that didn't sound good. So it just comes in hours and hours of practice and just really trying to perfect your craft.
So when you started in the business, in the DJ business, were there DJs out there who really weren't willing to offer that advice or offer tools? Because let's just face it, it's all about, the competitive world. Is DJ in a competitive field?
Absolutely.
Okay. Talk about that.
Because your people are booking you. Everyone wants to get booked.
Right.
Arkansas is not very big. Right. So but I do feel like there's enough to go around. But of course, there were plenty of people who didn't want to help or, don't want to acknowledge what you're doing. And that's fine with me. But I have to shout out Jonathan Nunn with Classic Entertainment. Yeah. He actually DJ'd my wedding. I'm pretty good friends with him. And so I reached out to him after my wedding and said, hey, I'm wanting to do this. What do you think? And he was like, oh man, he was like, we don't really have any as many female DJs in Arkansas as we probably should. So any way I can help you, I will. So literally right after the wedding, I attended a wedding with him just to kind of shadow him and see what he was doing and all that good stuff. And then anytime I've reached out for advice or anything like that, he's always lended a helping hand. So I definitely appreciate him.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that. People helping each other. Are there any mentors out there in the DJ profession that you look up to, that you admire, that you can pick up the phone or shoot an email or shoot a text to at any point and ask for advice?
I definitely feel like I can do that with Jay Nunn.
Okay.
And his name is DJ Classic. I definitely feel like I could do that with him. And then someone recently just popped up. I've been in a conversation with DJ Kane, 96.5 The Box. Okay. So he's definitely reached out and he's offered to reach down and pull me up and say, hey, whatever I could do to help you. He's actually referred me to several, some gigs, same as Jay Nunn. So I definitely appreciate that. But if I could have a mentor, if it was my pick, it would definitely be DJ Mr. Rogers out of Houston. Like if I could ever get to a point where I could work with him, like that would be amazing, because I just thought that it was cool that I had a vision of being a DJ while he was DJing. We have the same last name. The way he DJs is kind of what I mirror my DJing off of. I kind of take it and put my own spin on it, but I just love his energy. I love what he does with his music, and he was the DJ that really made me say, that's what I want to do.
So what is it, you mentioned that you guys' styles are kind of similar. So what is it that makes your style in DJing separate and apart from other people that are out there, other people in the state, I guess you'd say?
Song selection. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Sometimes you hear DJs, and it's great to, you got to know your music. You have to, be able to play really anything. But I think when you're able to take certain sounds and put them together and, play music that people want to hear,
right?
Then I think you're really doing something. I've been to parties or events and I've heard several DJs and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, you got your own thing, but I feel like when you're DJing, you have to know your crowd. You can't play music that you want to play or that you want to hear. Like when I'm DJing, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about what does my audience want to hear? What's going to get them going? You know what I mean? So I think it's all about just knowing your audience and just like I said, song selection is a huge part of it. A lot of people, oh, well, DJing is this and is that. It's really song selection and being able to like I said, blend and mix and transition. It's as simple as that. I say simple. It takes time to learn, but it's really not as hard as people make it.
So when you're thinking about song selection, are
Mm-hmm.
there any genres of music that you're particularly into right now?
Well, so when I first started, obviously like, hip hop,
Right.
dance music
Mhm.
was my favorite. And then we'll get into this a little bit later, but I actually started Club Corona on my Facebook page
Yes.
and I fell in love, which I already, liked it, but I fell in love with, the 90s era of R&B music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anyone knows me, they know that I'm a little Boosie, Webby, type of person. Like I love that type of music.
Mhm.
But when I started Club Corona, I would do R&B night. I would do, hip hop night or dance night. And some of my favorite nights were the R&B nights where I just kind of dove into 90s, that 90s era,
Yeah.
late 80s, early 2000s. And that was always my favorite mixes to put together. So basically how I think I really started to study like the 90s era was, I'm a college coach and I'm super busy.
Yeah.
So I never really had a whole lot of time to DJ because I recruit and I do a ton of different things. And I decided to go live. Well, actually, I had a couple of friends that reached out to me and was like, you need to do this.
Right.
Well, I was so busy that I was honestly thinking about giving it up. I was like, well, I don't really have the time to DJ and I'm just super busy and I probably
Yeah.
should just sell all my equipment and give it up. Well,
Right.
I had two friends, a cousin and a friend, reach out to me. It was like, no, you need to do this. Like, you need
Right.
to do this. So I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, I'm going to do it. And basically, I just want to do it really so they just stop asking. Honestly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I did. And I said, okay, well, I've seen a lot of DJs asking for tips
Mhm.
when they do it. So I said, I'm going to do it. And any tips that I get, I'm going to give it to people in need.
Oh,
And in 2 months, we raised $25,000.
what?
Yes. We raised $25,000 and we gave away every single penny.
That.
So could that be single parent homes? There was
Yeah.
a huge tornado in Jonesboro, which that's where I live right now. We gave to people that were affected by a tornado. We
Yeah.
gave people that are affected by COVID. Plenty of people who had kids and they were trying to figure it out. They needed to get food and groceries and things for their kids. So yeah, so when that happened,
Mhm.
I was just amazed because it's like, a month prior to that, I was ready to give it up.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
a month later, I have two friends, and obviously my wife too.
Yeah.
Hey, do this. Like you got to do this. And so I do it, and we raised 25,000 in 2 months. Like during a pandemic where people have been laid off, and
Mhm.
I was just so grateful to God because it's like I've always said that no matter what I do, whether it's coaching or DJing,
Right.
I want to I want to be able to bless others.
Mhm.
I want to be able to inspire others. So to do that and to be able to give away so much money was amazing.
That
You
is
know, and
awesome.
it's crazy too because $25,000 would have been great for me. Yeah, I'm going through a pandemic too, but
Right.
God told me he just said, look, this is what I want you to do. You
Yeah.
know, you're going to give all this money away and you're going to bless people. And
That.
through that blessing of people, I had a ton of people um start following my page. So like I literally created a Facebook business page for Club Corona.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
literally 2 months ago. And now I have like close to 6,000 follows.
Wow.
So
And so how does it happen? So do you just schedule the event?
mhm.
You post it on your Facebook
Yep.
page.
So basically, my brother Lorenzo Stevens, he does graphic work. He's also a rapper by the name of Zola Bryan. I'm his official DJ.
Okay.
He does really cool graphics. So I would reach out to him and say, hey, I need you to do me a flyer. So
Mhm.
we would do a party flyer. I would post it a couple of days before. And so everybody would get excited for it like it was an actual party.
Yeah.
And so we would host the Club Coronas every Saturday night at 10. And we would have, somewhere it would kind of bounce around from, 800 to 1,200 people at a time watching.
Wow. Wow.
My last one that I did on Memorial Day jumped up to 1,700. So it was quite a bit of people tuning in. Every live that we did, I got close to, a new 500 followers.
Yeah.
So it was, and then I don't know if you know Officer Tommy Norman.
Yes. Everyone knows Officer Norman.
He would come in, like I'm friends with him and his wife,
Yes.
and he would come in and he would share it, and the numbers would just skyrocket. And
That,
so I definitely appreciated his support through it, and it was just really amazing.
because not only are you providing music, we all know that music brings people together, music heals the soul, but then you were saying, hey, for any donations that anyone gives, I'm gonna turn it over to charity to help other people. So it was like a twofer for people. They're got some good music, they can kind of shake their hips a little bit, donate a couple of dollars, and help people out at the same time.
Yep.
Do you see yourself continuing with the effort? And if so, when is the next one?
So I actually took a break from it for a little bit. So we raised $25,000, and during that time that we were doing it, we lost a close family member. And
Okay.
so I feel like I needed to step away to allow myself time to heal from it.
Mhm.
It was my wife's aunt who we were very close to.
Okay.
And so I felt like it was just important to take the time to just step away and to try to heal from that. Losing someone that's that important to you is tough to go on about things like it's normal.
Right.
So, we actually did I think 2 more weeks of Club Corona before I was done. But just because I wanted to reach a certain amount of people, I still had a lot of people after she died. I still had a lot of people that needed help. So I just tried to push through to continue to help people. And then when we reached that mark, I felt like it was important to shut everything down, take a break from it,
Right.
and really heal, try to heal or try to cope.
Right. I think it's important that you realize that to take care of yourself, because if you're not 100%, then you can't do Club Corona and
Yep.
try to see about everybody else. So
I can't. And my thing is, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna give it 100% because that's only fair. Um,
right.
if I'm not giving it 100%, then that's not fair to the people that believe in me or the
Right.
people that's supporting. So if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. And then also, like you said, it's important to understand when you just need to step away to deal with things. That, like I said, that was a tough loss for us, and still dealing with it. But things are much better,
Right.
and just realizing that it's okay. It's okay to step away and to heal from something that's really bothering you.
Right.
Um, I don't feel like I've lost anything. I feel like, I'm actually coming back this week. I actually do a mix every Thursday night for a blog called Ark and Talk.
Okay.
Um, and so I'll be doing that this Thursday. And then I'm going to start a series on Friday. So Mini Mix Fridays. I'll start dropping Mini Mix Fridays.
Okay.
And so I'm coming back, and I'm going to start dropping a lot of content because, like I said, I love DJing. I definitely feel like this is my passion. I
Yes.
love music. I love to uplift people. I love to see people having fun. So that's just, that's definitely something that I could see myself doing long term. So
So what advice would you give um young women um, out there, little girls who may see this and have some aspirations of wanting to be a DJ, who may not have thought that it was possible for a little girl to grow up to be a DJ? What advice would you give her?
I would give her the advice that it doesn't matter what you want to do, is DJing or being a doctor. There's so many fields that are male dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And my outlook on things is someone's got to do it. Why not me?
Right.
Someone has to be a great DJ. Someone's going to get booked for these events. Someone is going to do this or do that. Why can't it be me?
Absolutely.
You know, I can be just as good as a guy. You know what I mean? I can put in just as much as time as they do. I can bring just as much as energy as they do. I can play the same music as they can. I can get the same knowledge that they can. So why can't I compete with them? You know, and I think for me, and it's really not about competing because I'm running my own race. I don't feel like I'm competing with anybody because I'm me, and I'm just trying to be the best me that I can. But I would tell them just to, if you're dreaming about anything in life, put your head down, work hard, educate yourself on that skill, try your best to master that skill, and good things come to those who work. I truly believe that. When you really, really put your mind to it, and you work and you work and you work and you put good energy out there and you trust in God, I just truly believe that things will start to happen for you. So I always tell, you know, I obviously I coach girls, and I always tell them you can do anything. I know this may sound cliche, but it's true. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Absolutely.
If you truly believe it and you truly feel like you can achieve it, I just feel like you can do it.
Right.
So for me, a lot of people looked at me and was like, you're not a DJ, you're a coach, blah, blah. So my thing was, okay, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I truly feel like I'm running my own race because I feel like any event that I'm supposed to have, I'm gonna have.
Absolutely.
There's nothing anyone can do to take that from me. So that's kind of what I live by, and that's the advice that I would give to anybody wanting to pursue their dreams.
That is good stuff. And on that note, I think that's a wrap.
Okay.